I'll call this meeting of the Waushara. This meeting will begin with following the hearing. You may stay in here house, or you may leave following. Any other persons wishing on the table? Those of you wishing immediately. The procedure will. And each applicant, after each application, the applicant followed by a question, then all correspondence. Anyone objecting will then ask for and any staff comment. Finally, the applicant will be allowed, if they wish. Anyone wishing to speak? Because of the number of the applicant will. Anyone else wishing to? If you are testifying, tonight's hearing will be. Comments that are based on. The committee has looked at. Any person affected by. Such appeals are heard by. Information on appeal. I'll now introduce Dave Williams. Our board has one. Has made application. Coming within 15 feet in RS within the shoreline area. Location, apart. Lot 3. 65 State Road 21. Please come up. Tell us what.
My name is Ed Kuntz, and I represent Crest LLC. My wife and I own Crest LLC. We've owned it for 15 years. We would like to put a bathroom on the front, and we are requesting a variance because of the way the house sits on the lot. And the house originally was facing Highway 21 and was probably perpendicular at the time to the highway at the time. But since then, the highway changed and the lot line, I think, has changed probably. And so as the house sits right now, it's actually closer than 3 feet to the lot line. And when we take the house a little bit further out to the highway, 5.5 feet, it brings the house 6 inches, approximately 6 inches closer to the lot line. And that's the variance that we are requesting.
I have some questions. Has there been a reason?
Yes,
So we're sure of the lot line?
yes.
Have you talked to the neighbor?
I've talked to the town, but the neighbor is not there because, you know, it's off season.
What kind of foundation are you?
My preference would be to put a full foundation underneath the 105 square feet. However, I do have a couple cement contractors coming this weekend, and I wanted to discuss with them the pros and cons of a full foundation versus a walk or a crawl space. Um, no, not offhand. I'm sorry.
What do you think the finished height of the addition will be?
About 12 feet, 6 inches.
Okay. Any other improvements planned?
Um, I'm contemplating having the cement work done in the garage, a new flat cement work in the garage, which
Okay.
is 19 by 19. But other than that,
Okay. During construction, how are you going to deal with erosion and stormwater runoff?
well, working with John regarding water mediation,
Okay.
and I had a nice conversation with him, short, but he said he would work with me and we'd get it right. So that's all up to compliance.
Yeah. All other setbacks are going to be met with this construction?
Yeah, so we're not, I mean, all what you see on, I trust everybody's got a copy of what we're doing,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah, we were out there, we saw the stake right where you want to put it.
That's
it?
exactly it.
Okay.
Yep.
You're on a sewer system there, right? So
We are on the,
we're not dealing with septic.
We are not.
Um, I don't know if we have any non-conforming structures there.
No.
I don't believe we do. Have you considered other options, like maybe putting the bathroom on the other side of the house where there was room, or is that,
Well,
is that the problem because you want it where the bedroom is?
well, there actually is no bedroom on the first floor, but it is at the base of the staircase, which is nice. But we did consider putting it in the porch, which we ruled out. And then we thought about putting it on the other side, but that would really cut into the very small yard that's over there right now. So it would require a variance as well.
So you're saying it's better for 6 inches over here than taking up part of the yard over there?
About 3 feet over there. Yeah, that would require a variance.
You're gonna have to explain to me what the hardship is, and I think you did a little bit of that the house is cocked and that, and, you know, variances have to be because of a hardship, so you have to explain to us and the board, me and the board, any unique property problems again.
Well, it is unique, I think, from the standpoint that the house existed before the current lot lines were drawn. And I don't think every house out there is like that. Of course, haven't surveyed that, but I do know it's one of the older homes out there on the lake. And I think that might be part of the unique problem. But again, it's canted again right into the lot line, and if you're gonna go out a little bit, you're gonna suffer some distance.
When we were there's a fence next to the asphalt area there. That fence is not on the lot line, is it?
Well, Tom and Sue had it surveyed before they put the fence up there, and I've got the feeling that they put it on their side a little bit. Because that's the way they would do it, but.
I don't think that's what we saw when we were out there.
Well, the reason the question came up, is if you follow the lot, go down, there's a stake in the ground. And,
Over by the lake?
yeah,
Yeah.
is that a lot stake? It's just a wooden stake.
That's a wooden stake, and that stake was driven in the ground back when Tom and Sue had it surveyed. This is like probably 3, 4 years ago because since that time, they've done some landscaping. They put the bushes up along the fence. They're very nice. And, oh, yes, I think so.
Because we measured from the fence to the stake, and it was 15 feet. So we knew that it wasn't right.
There's a survey or sketch that was prepared by Trent Nelson
Okay.
that dates to December 14th.
What other permits? Do you know what permits you'll need? Have you checked yet?
I'm
Are you a builder going to work on that?
meeting with a builder on Saturday.
Okay.
And just to discuss, I'm going to ask him to do a blueprint. And so as far as, obviously, we're going to need permits. But I also, I'm going to need to talk to John about getting
Yeah.
a permit for the water mitigation,
If approval is granted, when would you start building?
April.
That's all I have. Anybody else? Dave, John, Larry, George? Okay,
Thank you.
have a seat, and if we need to have you back, we'll have you back. Correspondence.
Counties received no correspondence.
Anyone in favor may speak.
I have one gentleman registered to appear and speak for informational only, Taylor Reitz.
Come on up.
Would like to come up?
Good evening. Taylor Reitz, I would be the new property owner that Ed's referring to. I bought Tom and Sue's place. So that was my main question, was just the eaves, the runoff, and then that fence. I also had questions about that as well, just where that's at, because I thought that was a little bit unique. I knew the bushes were on our side, and that stake lot I kind of assumed was the property line. We did not get it surveyed. We bought it in 2019, fall 2019, from Tom and Sue.
Okay.
That was just my initial questions, were kind of what you guys brought up already. So
So, you're good?
yeah, I'm with you. Ed has been a great neighbor to be with for the year and a half that we've been there. So
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yep.
Any information on staff comments?
Okay. The county maintains very little information on this property as the lot and the home predate county zoning. The lot is actually part of the original Silvercrest Resort plat, which dates back to 1894. Outside of an on-site that was performed in 2013 to review replacing stairs down to the water, and then most recently an on-site in November of 2020 to review the subject request, the county maintains little else. As illustrated on the attached plat of survey or the sketch at the back of your packet, the existing home was not only never centered upon the lot, it was actually built parallel to State Highway 21, resulting in a small corner of the home constructed partially over the northerlymost 15-foot side yard building setback line. This is due primarily to the fact that the actual property lines angle away or angle at the state right-of-way. Existing home maintains a side yard currently at 12.99 feet. Given the fact that they want to construct a small bathroom addition onto the northwest corner, it will protrude approximately an additional 8 inches out into the side yard. Now, I'd like to just point out that it's not the entire house. It's because of the angle, as we went out there and we saw, it's actually about half of the house, a small little triangular portion that's protruding outward. Board of Adjustment visited the property at their on-site on Monday, January 18th, and were generally supportive of the applicant's request. While they felt the variance is primarily one of convenience, the board did recognize site constraints that are beyond the control of the applicants, and that the area plan for construction would pose the least amount of impact upon the area. They also believe the request is in keeping with similar variances granted in recent time, and that an encroachment of approximately 8 inches at the one corner of the house should in no way detrimentally impact the adjacent neighbor. With regard to hardship and justification, the applicant does cite the narrowness of the lot and the orientation of the home as hardships, and does not believe the public interest would be harmed, as his encroachment does not directly impact the adjoining neighbor due to the home's orientation and location on the property. Staff has reviewed this request and does not believe that an additional 8-inch encroachment to the northwest side of the lot should pose a detrimental impact to the neighbors. And that due to the fact that it's just a small triangular portion of the home, While the board will be making a formal recommendation on this request later in the evening, staff is recommending approval of the variance to construct an approximate 5-foot, 5-inch by 19-foot bathroom addition coming to within 12.33 feet of the northwesterly side lot line in an RS20 single-family zone in the town of Marion within the shoreland area, subject to the conditions and comments listed in staff's report.
Thank you, Todd. Just my observation, being on this board for a while, this is one of the smallest, I think, variances we've had, only 8 inches. So, but the rules are the rules, and that's why we're here. So, do you wish to rebuttal, or are we good? Thank you. Okay. Are we done here?
Yep.
Okay, we'll go right to our agenda.
Go to roll call and
Yep.
and then
We'll go to the, that'll conclude the public hearing. And now we're